Everybody wants to know the secrets to managing their properties themselves if the online forums are to be believed. And I do have a couple of secrets. I'll share them with you. My first tip is to get education. And I know that's not a sexy tip, but I mean get some education on fair housing and get some education on your state and municipal landlord-tenant acts, codes, laws, whatever those are, because those are always going to be what you have to come back to determine what to do next. That's where I find the most ignorance among landlords, and it costs them the most money. So maybe you're not gonna go out and take a course and read all the books or follow and watch all my YouTube videos. That might not be for you, but you can find resources that are good resources of accurate information, and go to them. I'm gonna warn you, Uncle Jim isn't usually the best source of information, and that's something I fight a lot about, is just people who know a little, who share it very authoritatively with more vulnerable people, and I would say really be critical of where you're getting your information. My second tip is really, I think, alienating to some people, because I'm gonna ask you to play a role. Be the property manager for your property. So you're not self-managing, you are the property manager. I would encourage you to get little cards made, and when you interact with your tenants, vendors, anybody, you're the manager of the property. Now, this does a couple of things. It creates a little emotional distance. It's a lot easier to act as the manager on behalf of someone, I should know, than it is to act on behalf of yourself, particularly when you're in conflict situations with a lot of money or emotion. It's just a lot easier to be the manager. Additionally, for you, it reminds you you really should be sticking to a certain set of policies in your business. And that's hard to think about when you don't have a ton of tenants and you don't spend a ton of time doing this, but really your benefit is in the consistency and thinking ahead. And so if you have to act as a property manager, you kind of put that hat on and think about it a little differently. My last tip, and this is the one that I think everybody thinks they need to be their own manager, and that's just a really great software. And I'm not gonna tell you that one's better than the other. There's a ton out there. They give you some obvious benefits like electronic signing and payment acceptance, but that's not why I think you need it. I think you need it because you need to keep impeccable records. Impeccable records of every receipt, like every rent receipt, every record of expense paid. You know, you've got taxes to justify and things, but additionally, work orders, inspections, communications, lease documents. You'd be shocked that almost no property owners I work with have great records or reliable records for leases or work orders or inspections. And as a result, they're really in a bad position when there's conflict or disagreement. Because when you don't have accurate records of what happened, you're not in a position to prove what happened and defend yourself and enforce your agreement. So having a software and using it, not just for the obvious stuff, but for that record keeping, will make you a better self-manager. And if you can master these certain things about being your own actual property manager, I think you can be successful. But for most people, the investment in a professional property manager is the easier and cleaner way to achieve the same goal. Doesn't mean it's right for everybody, but it's one that I think is right for more people than take advantage of it. Self-managing properties is really popular, and there's a lot of advice on it. I just find that most of the advice out there focuses on the wrong things. It focuses on some of the tangible tasks and not really the fundamental basics of running your business well. And you know, it can take a lot to run your business well, to get that education and have a software and be your own manager. But if that's not for you, professional property managers are a really great way to go. I don't think you should be running fast and loose with your rental business. It costs a lot of money and increases the risk.